Now, why is there a dark delight of watching people suffer, right? I mean, let's get into some uncomfortable sort of territory here, right? Because humans have a built in, very real capacity for dark delight. I'm talking about the eerie satisfaction, right? Some people feel when others fail, fall, right? Flat out suffer. Little sadistic. It's called Schadenfreude, right? And it isn't just emotion. It's a neurological event. When researchers scan the brain during moments of Schadenfreude, something wild happens. The reward circuitry lights up, specifically the ventral striatum, the exact same region triggered by things like winning money, eating sugar, addictive drugs, right? Or receiving praise, maybe even sex. We all love sex. In other words, the brain literally is rewarding you for someone else's misfortune. Unverified nuance, but grounded in established research trends. This response becomes stronger when the person suffering is someone we envy. That's the disturbing twist. Envy makes this feeling spike, right? The brain is wired to reduce the discomfort of feeling less than by enjoying a rival's downfall. I guess it helps you deal with a little bit of that imposter phenomenon we talked about a couple episodes ago. In a 2015 fMRI study on social rivalry, it found that people who experienced envy toward high status individuals showed dopamine linked activation when those same individuals lost status or made mistakes. I mean, the brain treats it almost like justice being served, right? Even when there's no justice involved. But here's where it gets even darker. There's this thing called the moral disengagement loop. When a person already dislikes someone or feels wronged by them, the brain begins to dial down empathy circuits, the anterior insula responsible for feeling others people's pain, right? It actually becomes less active. That internal voice that normally says, hey, that's another human, be decent. Yeah, it goes quiet. It goes really quiet. And that's why online bullying feels so easy to some people, right? Reduced empathy plus reward activation equals a dangerous psychological cocktail. There's also this thing called the masked dominance high. Another dark mechanism behind enjoying others people's pain is tied to dominance psychology. I mean, humans are hierarchical species, right? When someone suffers, specifically someone we perceive as dominant or like high value, right? Or threatening to our status, the brain experiences what researchers call a relative rank boost. It's not happiness necessarily, it's relief. That's why when the best among us fall a little bit, everyone else is feeling good about themselves. You're welcome. There's a subconscious whisper, right? I'm safer now. You're not ahead of me anymore. Unverified detail, but consistent social dominance research. Now, this effect is actually even stronger in people with high narcissistic traits, right? Someone who shows blunted empathy responses and an exaggerated reward response when a rival fails. This isn't fantasy. I mean, this has been documented. Now, why does this dark delight content, right, go viral? The reason fail videos, exposés, call outs, messy public breakups, and watch this influencer fall apart content, right? Why do they spread so fast? Because it activates exactly these same systems. The viewer feels bonded to others in the comments, superior to the person suffering, rewarded by the dopamine hit, safe because it's happening to them, not us. And the creepiest part, this neurological cocktail, it makes people keep watching. It makes them keep scrolling for their next little dark, dirty fix.